I think certifications and degrees hold. I think they represent a measurement of skills attained. I don't think they teach any skills.
This video is being brought to you by the Textual Approach to Breaking into Cybersecurity ebook. If you're thinking about getting into cybersecurity, discovering your ideal role, having trouble getting interviews, having trouble in your interviews, need LinkedIn help, or all the above, then this is the book for you. You can purchase this book at textualconsulting.com/digital products. The link will be in the description.
I got a question. I feel like this is going to be trouble.
Oh, let me take a drink.
Go ahead. Hey,
I feel like this is going to be trouble.
It's spicy.
All right. Let's talk about certs.
Every time
why are you laughing already? I hadn't even said it.
She gets the most.
All right, let's talk about certs, man. Let's talk about how we as an industry market certifications. Mm-hmm. I okay, so let me preface this by saying, I know Twitter's gonna drag me for this. Twitter, I'm saying, hold on.
Wait, let him land. Let
me land. Okay, so for example, I got my CCNA, right? I got my CCNA, I got my Network Plus. I didn't learn networking by studying for my CCNA and Network Plus. Right? They proved what I already knew, but I think that sometimes we as an industry, we from an HR perspective depend too much on certifications. Like, I think that asking somebody who's just starting out in their career to spend 3, 4, 5, God forbid you want to go get some sand certs. Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that price. But God forbid you want to go get some sand certs. You want to spend all this money to go get certifications when it's like, how many of y'all have encountered people who got 2 years of experience but got a CISSP? And it's just like, I mean,
on help desk.
Yeah. On help desk.
Yeah.
All they had is help desk jobs. They got 2 years of experience and a CISSP, and it's just like, who are you, bro? Yeah. And then you get them in there and be like, hey, why shouldn't we expose port 3389 to the internet? And they're just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, or for my networking people, it's just like they come in there with a CCIE or a CCNP, and they're just like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? If the network's flapping, I just do a save run and then I just reboot the switch. And it's just like, nah, but you wouldn't.
I did interview a guy who was like, oh, you just reboot the switch. That was their troubleshoot.
If you gotta reboot anything, if you gotta reboot any networking infrastructure, you don't get the job. Like, I work for a multinational company. Don't reboot shit. Like, don't reboot shit. Ain't no risk calculation. There's no risk calculation that, you know what? I'm not gonna get into that. Because this,
I was just going to push back only and say the practical certs would be ones that would prove skill, because you have to.
Can you call out a practical cert?
What you got? ECIR. I think you got. I think OSCP is one too, right?
It was, as far as I remember.
From a cybersecurity perspective, because I'll give you a hot take right now.
Give me a hot take.
The CYSA is the best practical certification on the market.
That's the one I always tell people. I tell people, wait till you get a job first, because I feel like
CYSA is the best certification out there for cybersecurity.
I feel like it's a hard test, but it's very beneficial, especially if you're in the SOC. If you already got Sec Plus and you get CYSA, you straight. Everything you do gonna go up because you're learning when you're studying. But if you just study and take it before then, you really didn't gain much from it.
Well, we come from different disciplines. So for my networking people, how are y'all feeling about certifications? Because we all come from different disciplines.
Yeah, so I'll disagree with that you can't learn from certs, because I've definitely, when I wanted to, like, I'll take ICE. For those of you who don't know, ICE is the Cisco Identity Services Engine. It's pretty much their like top tier security product for network segmentation, VPN posturing, all types of security related things related to endpoints in your network. I learned a lot from that cert, because if you've ever looked at, I learned a lot from the study material. I haven't finished the cert yet, but if you've ever been inside of ICE, you can work completely on one piece of it and never touch the rest, and you will know nothing about the rest of it. Like, it's just so, they pack so much into that product. It's absolutely possible to work on one piece and not do anything else with the rest. So I've been able to learn from that. Where I think the learning from piece comes in is doing some type of labs with what you're learning. Definitely. If you're just reading the book, no, you haven't applied it. Like, it's one thing to know it, but you don't, and people always kind of push back on me when I say this, or they used to. It's not as rampant now. But for me, like,
make sure you don't gatekeep.
Yeah.
Don't start gatekeeping. Don't start gatekeeping.
Like, the connections weren't there until I'm actually like on Packet Tracer, typing in the commands, seeing the output that gets, brought back to me. Something like the Security Plus is informational. So I think those entry-level certs, the Security Plus, the things that don't really have labs, because it's designed to just introduce you to the topic, that's like a different thing. But I think for everything else, if your cert has labs, you need to be doing labs. If you're studying for a cloud cert, you need to sign up for Azure or AWS or GCP. And everything you learn in that, go try to do, like, on your platform. That's the only way it's really going to connect. To me anyway, like, I can read it and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I have book knowledge of BGP, but I've never configured it.
Definitely.
Have every day. Hold up, Rashad, I want to hear yours. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Lise. Go ahead.
Like, if so many people come up to me and be like, where should I start? I'm not learning anything from this. I've had someone DM me talking about, I've been studying for the CCNA for 4 months and I haven't learned anything. And I was like, well, what have you been doing? And the entire time, all they've been doing was literally just reading the book. Mm-hmm. And you can't, unless you put it into practice, lab it, like, whether it's physical or virtual. Mm-hmm. And I tell everybody, I was like, you don't need a full-on emulator, spin up a VM on your dang computer, have all this stuff. You don't need that to understand half of what is going on. I would say that I wouldn't say that, you don't learn anything from certs. I think when it comes to certifications, especially for me personally, I learned a lot more. Like, I learned about something, for example, for studying for a certification. I didn't necessarily know how to implement it or know exactly how it worked until I used it or had to figure it out in a production environment. Right. And so that's where I was like, but the knowledge of me, like, learning it, reading it in the certification, I was like, hey, if something, like, an example was, it could be something as basic as, I don't know, spanning tree, like with a switcher or something, right? If you go in there and you've never even read about it, you're like, what's spanning tree?
You plug a switch in and now you confused why your whole network's off.
Exactly.
That
certification gave that knowledge of, hey, this is what it is. Now let's see it in action. Mm-hmm. Let's see what it really does. So that's where, like, anytime that I study for any type of certification, I always supplement. And I tell people at the same time, study, supplement. Like, you need a lab. You don't need to spend money either.
I want to point out something for that. Like if you're looking at like GNS3 and all of them, and maybe you got like an older computer, or you like me, I don't have space for a physical lab. If I plug a switch in here, my electricity will probably go out. I'm in an older home. But like I use like cloudmylab.com, and I'll drop the link in the chat. And like for $30 a month, you can get like a little like GNS3 setup. You like RDP to the machine. It has all the images, and you can like lab your heart away. They also have like EV&G and Cisco modeling labs, but they're more expensive. And also, if you have the time and access to images after you if you're a network engineer, after you get a job, use your Cisco account to capture those images. You can spin up like EV&G on Google Cloud, and now you have like your emulator set up, and you can run it on your crappy computer.
Yeah. Real quick for the viewers, somebody was in an interview when they asked them how to remember the OSI model. I'm thinking Lise has the perfect verbiage for that.
So I don't know if y'all saw that I had tweeted today about the crazy cricket interview I had. And if you saw my example, I was like, I bet. I'm going to say, he had asked me, he was like, okay, he's like, this, you understand DNS, you understand cloud, you understand application gateways, firewalls, yada, yada, all this stuff. He's like, you get the OSI model, right? I was like, yes, I do. And he was like, I was like, a matter of fact, because this was the ending of the interview, and he set the tone. I'm going to just say that. He set the tone. So I said, I'm going to say it. I was like, I'm going to say it's inappropriate, but how do you feel about it? And I'm going to just say he tried to take credit for it. He wrote it down and everything. I said, nah, it's me.
We got that on video. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just say, if you hear this anywhere else, I said it. But if you need to remember the OSI model, how I do it, there's different ones, whatever. I can't say that on YouTube though, but I'll say, so the word is going to be kitty, but it supplements the word that starts with a P. Okay, this is good with that. But it's going to say, pimps don't need to sell kitty anymore. And it works. Everybody gets a laugh out of it. And it's like, Kiki. Kiki. Oh my God, I'll never forget it. And like the dude that I told it, the dude I told it in the interview, literally almost fell out in his chair. I was like, did I get the job? Did I get the job? Did I fit it? I made you laugh.
You should have.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's not E. Somebody's got an echo going on.
Yeah, I was on mute.
Is it me? I'm on mute.
So I am. I'm old school. Please don't throw sausage pizza away. But yours is amazing, and I actually saw the tweet, so I know what it is.